Hey, Wilma. Are you excited? What are you on? Bike?
It's the best time of the year. Counting down the days to you, I'm near. It's the best time of the year. With you right here, with you right here. It's the best time of the year. Counting down the days to you, I'm near. It's the best time of the year. With you right here, it's the best time of the year. Best time of the year.
Summer in Germany.
Woo-woo!
We absolutely love the summers here. But this is only our first one, so we really have nothing else to compare it to. But what we do compare it to is life back in the States in Utah, which, if you don't know, Utah is a desert tundra, per se. Its elevation for most of the state is well above 4,000 feet. So it's dry, hot, and rain is very scarce, especially during the summer months. We've said multiple times how excited we are and happy that we've been here during the summer because it's absolutely beautiful green, and we get lots of rain, which is different than what we're used to back at home.
Yeah, we don't know if you Germans would feel the same way as us because you're used to the rain. I posted on our Instagram story a little while ago the forecast of like a rainy week, and there were some people that are like, man, German summers, they're just rainy. But we disagree. We think it's a perfect mixture between sun and rain. We feel like in the mornings oftentimes we'll wake up to rain. It rained over the night, and then a couple hours in and it's a sunny, beautiful day, and we get to experience both in the same day. And the wind is just not too strong, but it's like a perfect light breeze. The sunsets are beautiful. You guys are gonna have to check out the sunset from our house. Even from our window we have an amazing view.
Our hearts go out to everyone who is affected because it's absolutely devastating. The effects of climate change, the effects of weather patterns not being consistent like people are used to. And to be uprooted from your homes has got to be catastrophic. I just don't know, right? Like, we are very blessed to have the life that we do and the place that we're staying in right now. And to be forced out of here would just be unthinkable for one, but for somewhere that you've lived and grown and raised kids and lived for decades, and then just overnight to have it uprooted. And yeah, it's just crazy to think about. Despite all the crazy weather that's been happening around the world, we feel like we have had a perfect balance between the rain and sun this summer, which has made it for an absolutely amazing time to get outdoors and do the things that we love to do. Today, riding a bike, yesterday going on a run, this weekend hopefully doing a farmer's market or some outdoor activity.
The only thing that we've heard from our landlords and other people living in this area is that this May was colder than typical. So given that it was a bit colder than normal, again, we don't really know what normal is, but our landlord said for like the past 40 years they've never had a May this cold. Honestly, we were fine with it though. I'm sure once we're here in Germany for longer and we're experiencing more of their winters in the cold time, that, you know, we'll look forward to a May that's a bit warmer. As you guys know and have seen in our videos, we've been doing a lot of travel. We love it, honestly. We're quite addicted to the thrill of it, of seeing new places, experiencing new cultures, meeting new people, etc. We could go on forever. But what do we do when we're not traveling? That is a great question, and honestly, we get outside. We go on walks all the time. That's pretty common, almost daily occurrence for us. If it's not a walk, then it's a bike ride. We're so happy to have gotten bikes here in Germany. Our bike rack finally came so we can explore further areas outside of our just area around our house. And let's see, what other things do we do? Other than walking and biking, we play in our yard.
We draw chalk, huh? Do we
Yes.
draw chalk outside? Do you draw pictures? And we like to go and play in the garden.
Yeah,
and we take care of
man.
our vegetable garden that has been pretty successful, we think, especially for the first year of just getting some dirt from our landlords.
We've had such a fun time experimenting with our garden. It's the first garden we've ever done, and we've been impressed with how quickly things grow here in the German weather. Our spaghetti squash bush is huge, and all of the other fruits and vegetables seem to be ahead of the schedule in Utah. So that's been fun because we've even talked about planting peas twice. We actually never got around to it, but it was something that we could have done here, and it was just really fun to experiment with.
Another thing with a garden is because of so much rain that they get here, we don't have to water that often. We watered maybe 2 or 3 times to get the plants going, make sure they had enough. But in Utah, it's like there's no way you can't.
So once we committed to a garden, we went out and I was like looking for a hose connection, and I was like, Tanner, we do not have a hose. What are we gonna do? But just like Tanner said, we haven't needed one.
The grass grows so quickly here, guys. It's unbelievable how quickly it grows, and to not have to water it. Growing up, both of us lived in houses that you had to put water on multiple times during the week and for several hours at a time, and it was just a huge water suck. Being in a desert, there is sun, and it's dry, so it's not like humidity. Humidity levels are below, and it's just one of those things that you expect to pay a good amount for the water.
At least if you want a green grass.
At
or
least
green
if you
yard.
want a green yard. Hi. Because Utah is so much of a desert, we are actually planning to do some xeriscaping back at our rental property because there is so much water intake, and the place is just, it's just so dry. There's not a lot of grass. It's more weeds than anything. But with Utah's drought getting worse every single year, it just seems like the right thing to do. Use more xeriscaping, reduce the amount of places that need to have water. But in Germany, it doesn't seem like that is necessary. If anything, xeriscaping just seems more like something to not have more lawn to take care of, right? A little less maintenance, but it's just so different to see the two dynamics.
So one thing that's a pro, but a little bit of a con, because it's so green, we experience a lot of bugs in our yard. I have yet to see a snake in our yard. Thank the heavens, we've seen them on the road around our areas, but we haven't had one yet. All of the fields around our house are so beautiful. They are organic. A lot of them are owned by our landlords, and we've confirmed with them, like, they are organic. They have multiple fruit trees. We know that there's a law or a rule in Germany, right, where if you own a certain amount of property, you have to have a fruit tree on it.
Or for how many hectares you have to have a certain number of trees. At least in this area of Bavaria. Is that common in most other places in Germany, or something that's just strictly here for Bavaria? Because we think it's amazing that they utilize the property rather than just having it for farmland to keep trees and other things growing.
So one of the main bugs that we see in our yard are bees, and we love it. For one, it's great for our garden, and for two, we know how important bees are for this world, for our environment, for us to function and live. And so it's super cool because we see bees all over in our area, and we just know that it's because people are letting their fields grow. We see a lot of wildflower fields, and they are, one, so beautiful. Oh my gosh, a couple times I went and picked some flowers from our landlords, filled basically our backyard, and put them in a vase, and it is just so awesome how it's just left to be wild, and the beauty of it is breathtaking.
Another thing we love about German summers is that the highs don't typically get much above 30 degrees Celsius, which for us back at home during some of the summer months easily averages above 30. Most times it's above 38 degrees Celsius, which is unbearably hot. Thankfully, we don't live in a very humid state, and so it's not near as bad as some parts of the East Coast or even the deep south of the US, but still it's not very fun being so dry and hot, and even starting at like 10 in the morning, it's already too hot to really enjoy being outside, and it just lasts until 6, 7, 8 p.m. So that's one thing we do enjoy, getting up, having our windows open as soon as the sun kind of starts to go, and having them open all night, and just enjoying a couple hours in the day. And then even right now, I think it's 6 o'clock. We've been out for the last little hour, and it has not been too hot. So we do really appreciate the fact that we can get outside during the daytime and not feel like we have to find shade the entire time and just enjoy being outside.
Honestly, we didn't know how we were going to function without an air conditioner in our German home, but we haven't needed it.
Honestly, it is a luxury having air conditioning because we know that a lot of parts of the world don't have it.
We haven't even moved down into our basement, which would definitely be cooler. If we're hot, we have a place to go. The houses here in Germany, at least ours, just seem to keep the house cool when you want it to and hot when it's cold. Because we were here in March, so we experienced a cold time too, and the houses were still warmer than you would expect for being that cold outside. Ultimately, there's so many reasons why we love the summertime here in Germany, but like we mentioned, weather's definitely one, and the second other main one would be its beauty. It is just unbelievably green. I know we've said that so many times, but we can't get over how beautiful it is, especially in the first of summertime when the fields, the farm fields, have the yellow flowers on them. We think it's an oil, right?
Yeah, we think it's like rapeseed oil or safflower.
That's what we've heard. and it just is mind-blowingly beautiful. But aside from that, we also enjoy getting outside, having the weather to allow us to be so active.
So we know most of these things are specific to Bavaria and that other parts of Germany that might not be as ideal as what we're portraying, but we have absolutely loved it. Like this road that we're on, there are so many miles of road out here in Bavaria that we just go all over the place on our bikes, on runs, on walks. It's amazing, like absolutely amazing. And not too far from here, in between the towns of my work and other areas, they have designated biking and walking trails. And it's fantastic because you can go and enjoy long stretches without having to worry about cars or motorbikes or even narrow trails where you have to share the road with like a mountain bike. It's awesome. In Utah, there are trails like this, but it's not as accessible, it seems. You have to like drive somewhere to get to those, and it makes it a little bit hard when you just want to leave your house and go on them. Now, we don't live in a subdivision like a lot of places are, so we don't have the sidewalks nearly as much, but these roads and trails have been awesome. Coming from Utah, we love outdoor activities. Utah, nestled right up against the Wasatch Front and the Rocky Mountain Range, is an absolutely incredible place to go mountain biking, hiking, camping, running, you name it. There are so many things. Rock climbing, how can I forget that? There's so many places that are out there and people love it.
There's lots of reasons why we love Germany. We hope you found this video interesting. It was fun for us to compare what our life is like here compared to the States back in Utah. And give an extra loves.
Yep. We know that other parts of Germany probably have slightly different versions of things.
Willis, say hi to your fan club. We know you got one. She's always the star of the videos. And in this one, it's no exception with the interruptions.
Thanks again for being here. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already. We love meeting everyone and hearing your guys' perspectives. Let us know why you love German summers or why you don't, and tell me where your absolute favorite place is to be during the summer. And lastly, thank you for all of the support and being here again. If you like our content and want to help us continue to do it, because it takes a lot of time, effort, and energy, there is another way that you can help us out. We have a new feature called Super Things, where you can pay to have your comment highlighted on one of our videos, and it would mean a lot to us because it helps support us continue making these videos where we can share our experience here. If you want to highlight one of your comments, please donate to that. We don't have a Patreon or anything, but every little bit will help us continue to do that. Thank you again, guys, and we'll see you later.